Hey my friends, welcome to another video. Remember, we're trying to predict financial success, and this is how the world works. On this video, I'm going to talk about this disruption category framework that I came up with to help us understand, to help us visualize how value moves through the economy, and this is how the world works actually. And so let me get right into it. So here's the thing. We have us people who work through our career in a business. This drawing is supposed to be a factory, so sorry for that, but it's supposed to be a factory. So a man works his career in a factory, and through a business model here, they deliver their products, their services to the market, and the market compensates the factory, and the factory compensates its employees, right? That's how it works. There may be some freelancers that say, hey, I deliver my work directly to the market. For example, yesterday I talked about my attorney, how he, as a freelancer, wherever in the world he may be, he delivers a contract to me and I pay him directly back. That's the magic of the internet. The internet it takes us to the end consumer, right? So another example is, for example, Michael Dell. He skipped the stores, etc. I talk about that in some of my trainings. Anyway, so here's the thing. When there's a shift in the market, the value starts to shift, and maybe this product is not relevant anymore. And we need to identify that there are 6 ways that disruption can happen. And it can happen in the business model level, that's the worst of it, or in our career level, that's the worst for our personal. And then there's in businesses can be disrupted in their infrastructure level or in their operations level. Let me try to give you some examples and to see the differences. So, for example, the infrastructure changes. Let's think about a real estate agent's office, right? They have their business model is to sell property to the real estate buyers and represent the sellers and vice versa, right? So they have a lot of personal contact with people, and their business model is actually they help you sell your house, or they help you find a house and they match it and they get paid commissions, etc. The moment that, for example, smartphones come out into the market, there's a change in the way they will be using their infrastructure. They're changing maybe their computers to smartphones or to tablets, and so they may be upgrading some hardware and use new software. But basically the updates and the changes and the disruption and the way they used to do things before, it was in their infrastructure level. Their operations continue to do the same. They continue to send emails. They did it before by computer. Now they do it through a tablet or through their iPhones. But it's basically the same. And their business model is not changing. They still make money through commissions. They still have this close relationship with their customers, etc., etc., etc. So in that particular example, there's only a disruption in the infrastructure level. It doesn't jeopardize all the business, right? The business won't die if they update and they keep up with the market. Their customers are using mobile phones. I better send them nice images and pictures. I need to keep up with whatever the trends are demanding. But their way to do business it doesn't change because of this new innovation, this new technological change. Example number 2. Let's think, same thing, mobile phones come into the market. Now, let's think about an airline. The airline, what's its business model? The airline, they only want to take some people, travelers, from point A to point B. They fly them by plane, etc. The smartphones, they won't change or impact their business model. They will simply be impacted in their infrastructure, the way that they did ticketing, etc. Now their barcodes or in the smartphones, and the people, their customers like it, and people like to make reservations using their mobile phones. So they need to upgrade all their some hardware to better service mobile phone users, and they need to implement this mobile app, etc. Also, but there's an impact in their way of doing business. Now there are automated kiosks maybe in the airport, and people will use their phones as a ticket to board the plane. There's new hardware, there's new way of doing things. Their operations gets impacted by this change to making the transition to the mobile devices, to this new technological revolution, to this new trend. They need to be catching up because the consumers like it, because it's convenient, and they want to stay up to date. But again, the business model is not changing. It stays the same, right? Now, example number 3. What happens when same product, mobile devices coming to the market, but now you are a marketing agency and all your work was focused completely in television or in panoramics, etc. Now the world is shifting towards digital media, and your business doesn't have any experience with digital media, and so there's an impact in the infrastructure, in the way that you're delivering the value through the business model to the market. It impacts the infrastructure, it impacts the operations, and it impacts ultimately the business model. The business model collapses. It's changed, it's disrupted completely, and that's why businesses will suffer disruption. Think about Blockbuster Video. Blockbuster Video, they were impacted by this digital revolution in their infrastructure. People don't want to go to the video store to get the rental, right? They want it immediately, digitally, or by mail, etc. They wanted it was immediate, right? All their stores became obsolete. They were completely destroyed in their infrastructure. Their operations became also obsolete. Their business model was obsolete. Blockbuster Video completely died, right? A new technological revolution, a new business model, Netflix, comes and destroys the complete business of Blockbuster Video. Same thing with Kodak, right? Kodak was disrupted in the infrastructure. They didn't understand digital. They never implemented digital. They never pursued digital, even though they invented the digital camera, but they ignored it, and their operations became obsolete. Their infrastructure became obsolete. Their business model of selling film to capture those memories, that's the value that the market wanted, right? Became obsolete, and that they died, right? Now, what happens to careers, to us people, if here's Joe. Joe is an employee of Blockbuster Video. He is devoted with his career to Blockbuster Video. Now, what is Joe doing? He uses his technical skills, his management skills learned at school, etc. His technical skills using the scanners for the movies, or keeping up with the inventory or the computers of the software, whatever it is. And his soft skills are those that he provides good customer service, he smiles, he's a good team player with everyone around him. So he's a great store manager for Blockbuster Video. But now, even though he's focused, giving the best of his effort, the best of the value he can provide to the business, he, not even knowing it, maybe he was trusting in the leadership of this big company, all the CEOs, etc. That's their job, to see where the market is going, etc. But now the disruption came to Blockbuster Video, and who was also a victim of the disruption. Maybe he still has current technical skills, current soft skills. His career is still relevant. There's a lot of need for managers, for store managers, etc., for keeping up with the inventory of customer service. He's a good person, good worker. He delivers value, but his business where he was working completely collapsed, and he's out of a job. That's something that it's happening around the world, and I believe that it will continue to accelerate as we accelerate this market shifts in the digital age. But now, what happens if the airline, for example, we're giving back to the airline business, they start to make all these updates of mobile technologies, etc., and new platforms and new softwares and mobile devices, whatever. And now Joe works for the airline and he's devoted with his career, but suddenly Joe, he doesn't get it with technology. He's not good. He can't keep up with the new systems. He's not good learning for the new systems, etc. He starts to become obsolete in his technical skills. His value starts to drop, right? Then in his soft skills, etc. So what I want us to learn about this disruption category framework is that there are 6 levels of disruption, and it's complex. But I want you to see the width and the depth of the problem or the challenge that we have in adapting or anticipating the shifts into this new economy, to the digital age, right? We may be great workers in our jobs, and if the leadership of our company is not making the current updates, there will come disruption, right? We will suffer disruption. And it can happen in the infrastructure level, operations level, in the business model, and now in our jobs also. For example, let me give you an example of this for a personal level. These 3 categories. Let's think about, for example, in a career level. What's a career level disruption? Think about how autonomous cars are coming into the market in the next 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it is. They will come. So imagine all those truck drivers who work every single day. They use their technical skills of driving these amazing, huge trucks around town and around the highways, and they have these skills to do their job. That's their career. Their career is a truck driver, and they make amazing good living out of that job. It's a heavy job, but it's well paid. But what happens when autonomous vehicles come and they take over these trucks, and the trucks can now drive 24/7, non-stop. They drive by themselves, And what happens to Joe's career as a truck driver? The career is completely disrupted. Doesn't matter how much he could improve any technical skills. The problem is that their driving skills are not needed anymore. The computer drives by itself. Soft skills are irrelevant. He's completely disrupted by this technological revolution in his career level. Now Joe needs to find a whole different career, right? As we progress, if we're focused on our technical skills, we need to keep updated with the trends. Some engineers may become obsolete with whatever value, their technical value they're delivering to the world, etc. Soft skills are changing dramatically as these new trends evolve around the world. For example, a soft skill that we need to develop is maybe learn how to work remotely, right? Work with someone around the world and communicate properly and use all these tools in the cloud that can help us track our progress and help each other, etc. Those are skills, both technical and soft skills that we need to develop. We need to develop teamwork skills. We need to develop leadership skills. We need to develop this respect and helping each other and respecting our cultures. We're in a globalized world. We have very different cultures, and we need to respect each other. That's a soft skill critical in the digital age, right? If we want to grow our team building, we need to be aware of that. So the big question is, where is your career path? Where is your company, your business, your idea, your freelancing service, or or your employer going? What are the challenges that you can sense that are happening in the infrastructure, in the operations, in your technical skills, in your soft skills, in your career, in the business model? So the markets are changing. As I told you in previous videos, the value is changing. The value is shifting, just as it shifted in the movie business, in the photo industry, in the music industry. Things are going from physical, they're being dematerialized into a digital product that delivers the same value or similar value or more convenient value, faster, cheaper, better. As consumers, we love it. And we don't care how much effort, how much time, how much energy everyone is putting behind all these businesses. There's a shift. We like convenience. We like technology. We adapt these mobile phones. We all have them now around the world. If we're not pursuing these trends, we will become obsolete. It's a matter of time. And the result is disruption. That's what's happening around the world. So the challenge we all need to study, and I passionately want to help you solve this issue, is where is the goal? Where should I focus? Where should you focus your time, energy, efforts, skills, and upgrade the skills that are needed today and going to be needed in the next few decades? That's the challenge that we have, and I passionately believe that we need to anticipate these changes, not adapt, because adapting is usually too late. On the next video, tomorrow, I will be sending you I call it the job disruption framework, and it's also a visual tool to help us identify where should we focus our efforts and how can we face this huge challenge and how can we better anticipate all these changes and find those amazing opportunities that are ahead of us. Every change, every technological revolution brings huge opportunities and huge threats. Threats if we don't do nothing, and huge opportunities for those who can anticipate them, who can see them, who can study them and pursue them, right? To focus all our skills, time, money, energy, and pursue where the gold is. That's where the value is, where the value is shifting. So I hope you like this video and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Take care.